Can we talk about church for a moment? And when I say church, I am using the lowercase c, church, more in the sense of organized religion than the bride of Christ. In my lifetime, I've seen quite an explosion of churches. Many churches have come into being from the Jesus Revolution when I was younger. And as I've grown up, I've watched churches grow from small groups to enormous congregations with multiple services in the thousands on Sunday. And I'm very pleased with that. I want that to continue, and we take nothing away from that. But I was thinking about the overall church paradigm because it seems to me that the way we are doing church goes something like this. We build a building, and there's a core group or a small congregation, and we encourage that small congregation to invite others in their environment, their co-workers, their family members, their friends, their neighbors, and so forth. And so we're importing people into the church building, the church service. And in doing so, we have also professionalized the staff. We hire seminary graduates. We've got, multiple pastors and associate pastors, professionals in the church. And it seems to me that the job of the member of the congregation is to bring people in, to import them. And it has served us, certainly to some extent. But I do have a concern because if we are importing and growing more people who can do more importing, I have a question. What do we export? Well, many churches, especially here in the Southern Baptist Convention, participate in the cooperative program, where we take up where a portion of the church's offering, and in addition to that, special offerings, the Annie Armstrong offering, the McGuire State Missions offering here in Florida. And we export that money to headquarters where presumably some professionals know better how to use it and are more expert in how to use it. And in fact, our church is one of the leaders in missions giving. And for that, I am pleased and proud. However, it seems to me that we have imported these people, and with the import of people comes the import of money, and then we export a portion of that money to some other experts that are out of town in some distant place, the Wisdom Factory, and they then export stuff. And it concerns me that it seems to have absolved us from the personal ministry of the gospel. And it's quite a machine if you look at it. It's very well organized. It's very well run. People invite people to church and say, listen, we've got a pastor that's awesome. We have music that is awesome. It's a great production. And they will tell you all about Jesus Christ. And they do. And it works. But I have a question. Why can't we just tell them about Jesus Christ and tell them to come join a congregation of like-minded believers and worship God? You see, we've built this machine, but in doing so, I'm afraid that we have reduced the individual church member to a mere cog in that machine. Well, I think you're better than that. I think we are all better than that. I don't think that sharing of the gospel is some special gift or talent that is reserved only for seminary graduates who have a PhD in divinity and ministry and theology and the like. I think that ordinary people are equipped to share the gospel. So here's my question. What are we exporting? Well, presumably the gospel, and I think to some extent we are. But I have a personal burden and a personal challenge to you. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you that it is my goal to export the gospel everywhere I go, whether that would be at work, at play, and yes, at church, and on the mission field, and anywhere else I go. Would you join me in that? Because I do think you are good enough, and you may say, no, I'm not. Well, who's telling you that? I'm not. I think you are good enough, and Jesus Christ thinks you're good enough, and I can prove it. You know, Jesus in the New Testament, as he ascended into heaven, left us with some final words. Now, as a psychology major, I got to share this with you. There's two important concepts in speech delivery. One is called primacy, and one is called recency. Primacy is you need to say some important things first. And recency is you need to say some important things last. The reason they do that is that people tend to remember the first things you say and the last things you say. They tend not to remember those portions of the message that are in the middle. So Jesus is ascending into heaven. These are his final words. And basically his words are, "Go ye, therefore," and I won't complete the verse. It'll be up at the conclusion of this video. But it says go. I don't think that meant go to church. I think that meant go out there. You know, out there where the people are. And it says ye. That means you. That means me. That it didn't say send ye. It said go ye. Go is a verb. It requires action on our part, and it's you. It's personal. Go you. Well, here at the Empower Channel, we want to share stories of the Christian walk of ordinary people, not professionals, people like you and people like me. And I would like to challenge you to share your Christian walk here on the Empower Channel. You see, as I see it, there's a lot of good preachers out there, and there's probably even more to come, but there's no shortage of good preachers. You know, there's a lot of great music out there, very talented and very gifted individuals, but I don't perceive that there's a shortage of that. What I do think there's a shortage of is ordinary Christians like you and like me, who are willing to be bold and share our walk with Jesus Christ, with each other, and with the world. I hope that you'll accept my challenge. At the end of this video, we will have a slide that has our phone number here at the Empower Channel, and we would like to share your story. The Empower Channel will be launching about mid-November, and we are seeking Christians like you to simply share your story, to be an encouragement to other Christians, and to reach out to a very lost world. Let's be salt and light.